When someone walked into the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids, Minnesota on August 27, 2005, they weren't there for the gift shop. Within minutes, one of Hollywood's most treasured artifacts, Dorothy's ruby slippers, vanished into thin air, launching what many consider the FBI's most glamorous cold case. Some observers felt the theft seemed almost too easy. Security footage showed a figure smashing the museum's glass display case with a hammer before grabbing the sequined shoes and disappearing into the night. For 13 years, the slippers remained ghosts, their whereabouts presumably unknown to everyone except the thief and whoever might have been harboring them. The FBI's art crime team treated the case with the intensity typically reserved for stolen masterpieces, deploying extensive resources in their pursuit. Their persistence paid off in September 2018 when a carefully orchestrated sting operation finally brought the slippers home. The recovery involved undercover agents, wiretaps, and a network of informants, resembling what some described as more spy thriller than prop hunt. What many considered particularly audacious was the target itself. These weren't just any ruby slippers from the film's collection of pairs, but one of only 4 surviving sets from the 1939 production. The Smithsonian Institution later authenticated the recovered slippers, confirming their legitimacy through detailed analysis of their construction and materials. The shoes then embarked on a conservation tour, allowing the public to witness firsthand the artifacts that had sparked what some called one of entertainment history's most elaborate criminal investigations. Hollywood's prop departments created multiple versions of Dashiell Hammett's legendary Blackbird, but tracking down the real deal became a detective story worthy of Sam Spade himself. Warner Brothers commissioned both lead and plaster versions for the 1941 classic, with the heavier lead Falcon serving as the primary hero prop throughout most scenes. During filming, actress Lee Patrick accidentally dropped the weighty statue, leaving a distinctive dent that would later become its most identifying feature. Jack Warner himself took possession of the damaged Falcon after production wrapped, treating it as a personal trophy rather than studio property. The executive kept the bird for decades before eventually gifting it to a Hollywood insider, setting off a chain of private ownership that would confuse collectors for generations. When the Falcon first surfaced at auction in 1994, bidders had no idea they were witnessing the beginning of a memorabilia gold rush. The hammer fell at $398,500. A fraction of what similar props would command years later. Nearly 2 decades passed before the same Falcon reappeared at Bonham's auction house in November 2013, where its provenance had been meticulously documented and its authenticity verified through that telltale dent. This time, collectors weren't taking any chances. The bidding war erupted into a frenzy, with the final gavel dropping at $4,085,000, making it one of the most expensive movie props ever sold, and proving that sometimes the stuff dreams are made of comes with a very real price tag. Two identical Aston Martin DB5s rolled onto the Goldfinger set in 1964, but only one would become cinema's most famous getaway car, and eventually star in its own real-life caper. While one DB5 handled the standard driving sequences, chassis DP2161 received the full Q-branch treatment, complete with ejector seat, rotating number plates, and machine guns that emerged from the front bumpers. After the film wrapped, this gadget-laden marvel embarked on a global promotional tour, drawing crowds wherever Bond's actual ride appeared. Eon Productions eventually sold the celebrity car to a private collector, who treated it like the crown jewel it had become. The DB5 found what seemed like a secure retirement home in a climate-controlled hangar at Boca Raton Airport in Florida, surrounded by other automotive treasures and protected by state-of-the-art security systems. On a quiet night in June 1997, thieves proved that even the most sophisticated alarms were no match for determined criminals. The perpetrators methodically cut through the security system, then used heavy equipment to drag the 3,000-pound vehicle from its resting place, leaving behind only tire tracks and a mystery that would baffle investigators for decades. Despite international manhunts, alleged sightings across multiple continents, and rewards reaching into the millions, the original gadget car has never surfaced. Some speculate it was dismantled for parts, while others believe it sits hidden in a private collection, waiting for the heat to die down. The DB5's disappearance transformed it from a movie prop into something far more intriguing, a real-world phantom that continues to elude capture. MGM's $125,000 investment in 1955 created more than just a movie prop. It launched Hollywood's first mechanical leading man into a career that would span decades. Robby the Robot emerged from Forbidden Planet as a marvel of engineering, featuring intricate moving parts, synchronized lighting systems, and a design so sophisticated that it required multiple operators to bring the 7-foot creation to life. The studio quickly realized they had built something special, and Robby's agent-worthy resume began accumulating credits faster than most human actors. Television producers lined up to book the metallic celebrity, with Robby making memorable appearances on The Twilight Zone, where he played a different robot entirely, and later charming audiences on The Addams Family as a mechanical butler. His filmography expanded to include dozens of B-movies, science fiction serials, and variety shows, making him arguably the hardest-working robot in show business. Unlike human stars who aged out of roles, Robby's timeless design kept him relevant across changing decades and evolving special effects standards. Eventually, a dedicated collector acquired the aging robot and embarked on a meticulous restoration project, returning every circuit and servo motor to its original 1956 operating condition. When Profiles in History brought Robby to auction in November 2017, the lot included not just the robot himself, but also his original Jeep vehicle and control panel from the film. The hammer fell at $5,375,000, establishing a world record for any movie prop sold at auction and proving that some stars never truly retire, they just get more expensive. Two identical 1968 Ford Mustang GTs roared through San Francisco's streets during filming, but only one would survive to become automotive legend, then vanish into suburban anonymity for 4 decades. While the stunt car suffered catastrophic damage during those legendary chase sequences and was believed scrapped, though it later surfaced in Mexico in 2017, the hero car driven by Steve McQueen found an unexpected second act as the world's most valuable daily driver. Robert Kiernan purchased the Highland Green Fastback after production wrapped, initially unaware that he'd acquired a piece of cinematic history. The car seamlessly blended into ordinary life, ferrying Kiernan's wife to her teaching job while Hollywood's most famous Mustang hid in plain sight on New Jersey roads. McQueen himself attempted multiple times to reclaim his former co-star, reaching out directly to the Kiernan family with increasingly generous offers, but Robert consistently declined every approach. The family treated their automotive treasure like any other car, racking up miles and memories while collectors worldwide searched for the missing Mustang. For nearly 40 years, the unrestored vehicle sat quietly in the Kiernan garage, its faded paint and worn interior preserving an authentic snapshot of 1960s craftsmanship. When Sean Kiernan finally unveiled his father's secret at the Detroit Auto Show in January 2018, the automotive world collectively gasped at the car's remarkable survival. The subsequent Mecum auction in January 2020 delivered the ultimate validation, $3.74 million for a family sedan that had spent decades hiding its Hollywood pedigree behind suburban normalcy. Hubert de Givenchy crafted more than just a costume. When he designed that sleek black satin sheath, he created a cultural phenomenon that would redefine elegance for generations. The designer produced several identical versions for filming and promotional purposes, but one particular dress held special significance in his personal archive. Rather than letting the cinematic treasure gather dust in storage, Givenchy made an extraordinary decision that would amplify its legacy beyond Hollywood glamour. The legendary couturier donated his cherished piece to City of Joy Aid, a charity dedicated to supporting impoverished communities in India, transforming the dress into an instrument of humanitarian impact. When Christie's London prepared the auction in 2006, experts conservatively estimated the garment would fetch around £70,000, a respectable sum for any film costume. The actual bidding war that erupted defied every prediction, with collectors and institutions driving the price to astronomical heights. The final hammer price of £467,200, equivalent to $923,000, shattered every existing record for film memorabilia. This wasn't merely about acquiring a piece of fabric. Bidders were investing in a symbol that had transcended its original purpose to embody timeless sophistication. The proceeds funded education programs and healthcare initiatives for children in Calcutta's slums, proving that sometimes the most elegant solution to social problems comes wrapped in black satin in Hollywood history. Three identical balsa wood sleds bore the name Rosebud during production, but only one would escape the flames that consumed cinema's most famous mystery. Orson Welles scripted the climactic furnace scene to destroy the sled that held Charles Foster Kane's deepest secret, and two of the props dutifully fulfilled their fiery destiny as cameras rolled. According to some accounts, the third sled survived because the scene wrapped earlier than anticipated, leaving the backup prop intact and suddenly invaluable. While the exact circumstances remain unclear, what's certain is that this simple childhood toy had somehow cheated its scripted destruction. An RKO Pictures executive recognized the prop's significance and quietly acquired it, understanding that this humble piece of balsa wood represented something far greater than its construction suggested. Decades passed before the sled resurfaced at Sotheby's auction house in 1982, where its provenance and cultural weight commanded serious attention from collectors worldwide. Steven Spielberg, already established as Hollywood royalty but still deeply reverent toward Welles' groundbreaking achievement, entered the bidding with determination. His winning bid of $60,500 secured more than just a movie prop. Spielberg later described the sled as a symbol of the storytelling excellence he strived to achieve in his own work. The transaction created a direct lineage between two of cinema's most influential directors, with Rosebud serving as a bridge connecting the medium's golden age to its modern renaissance. Hollywood's most enduring burial myth claimed that Bela Lugosi took his iconic Dracula cape to the grave in 1956, sealing cinema's most recognizable costume beneath 6 feet of earth forever. The legend persisted for decades, adding gothic romance to the Hungarian actor's final chapter while the collectors mourned the loss of horror's holy grail. Reality, however, proved far more practical than the macabre fairy tale that captivated fans worldwide. Lugosi's widow Lillian and son Bela Jr. had quietly orchestrated a clever substitution, burying the actor in a lighter secondary cape while secretly preserving the original screen-worn masterpiece from Universal's 1931 classic. The family understood the cape's cultural significance extended far beyond personal sentiment, representing the birth of cinematic horror and their patriarch's immortal transformation into Count Dracula. For over 50 years, the genuine article remained carefully stored away, protected from light and humidity while the burial myth grew stronger with each retelling. The Lugosis maintained absolute discretion about their preservation efforts, allowing the romantic legend to flourish while safeguarding one of cinema's most important artifacts. When the family finally decided to part with their treasure in 2011, Profiles in History set an ambitious reserve price of $2 million, reflecting the cape's unparalleled status in film history. The auction ultimately failed to meet expectations, leaving the cape unsold and returning it to family custody. Today, the legendary garment remains in private hands, its survival a testament to familial devotion triumphing over Hollywood mythology. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment. Also consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to get notified of our new videos each week. Thanks for watching.